These are some of the easiest to find. In addition to a wide variety of fish, they make the reef look like an underwater city. Come on, check it out for yourself.
I never knew the coral reefs were such a beauty. You are absolutely right in asking us humans to take care of them. I will tell all my friends.
You see, taking care of the coral reef is very easy. Now that you've learned about it, I need you to help take care of it.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, a local community park hit by thieves.
To have individuals on 2 different occasions steal the fence is extremely distasteful and was selfish.
Also, residents applauding the roadwork in Hudson Estates. And the Abaco Chamber of Commerce weighing in on the vaccine rollout. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Rolf-Arcus, and as always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news this evening, the coroner's inquest continuing into the presumed deaths of 34 people reported missing after monster Hurricane Dorian. At last report, 4 persons were reported missing after the storm have been identified with the help of DNA. The 4 from the island of Abaco, their remains were interred in a mass burial last May. Tonight, Megan Shepard talks with the president of the Abaco Christian Council about the inquest and Abaco's search for closure.
President of the Abaco Christian Council, Pastor Egbert Tinker, says that this inquest is extremely meaningful to the people of Abaco. He says that most people appreciate that the government has started the inquest that will bring closure to some families.
And I could assure you that this will bring final closure to a lot of those family members who are uncertain as to where and how their loved ones and what had happened to them. And so I think this is a good thing for our island, and we do appreciate it.
Now, the rehashing of the details of the deadly storm could reopen old mental and emotional wounds for some. But Pastor Tinker says that sometimes old scabs have to be reopened in order to heal properly.
It will have that effect for some, but finally, when it closes now, it'll be the final chapter on that, and we would not open it no more. And sometimes you have to hurt it in order to heal it.
The Christian Council leader says that he was able to speak with some families about the process thus far.
Those that I had the chance to speak to, they have already submitted their DNA samples and hoping for matches and all like that. And they feel good about the closure and that they're finally coming to that part where you could, rest that, yes, this is my loved one here in this grave, or maybe they didn't find my loved one, they didn't have a match or whatever, but we know that they lost their lives in the storm. And so they feel good about it, and I think, it's the right way to go. It's the right way to go.
And in just 5 short months, September 1st will mark 2 years since the passing of Hurricane Dorian. While some believe an inquest should have taken place months ago, Pastor Tinker says now is still an appropriate time.
A lot of people don't have what we call skin in the game. They don't know. But I personally knew people who lost their lives. And so for me, I appreciate the timing. For others, it should have been done right away. But we know things don't always work the way we want them to work. But we're just grateful and appreciative that it is happening. That's the final, it is happening. It's not delayed anymore, and nobody talking about it. Is actually in process, and we agree and we thank God for that.
He leaves residents with this message of hope.
Our hope is still in God. We trust God for everything. We believe Him for everything, and we trust Him. Whatever way it happens or whichever way it goes, we still going to trust in this God. And he said in his word, they that put their trust in him shall be like Mount Zion. A city that abided forever cannot be removed. And so today we believe that.
At this time, there is no timeline for the completion of identification of storm victims. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
In other news, thieves striking the Adena Meadows Park, leaving a trail of damage, frustration, and disappointment behind. Tonight, the Deputy Chief Counselor is making an appeal to the public to keep a watchful eye out for those responsible for destroying the local community park. It's not the first or second time that thieves have broken into the Adena Meadows Park in Hawksville and have stolen or vandalized the property. This past Monday, according to Deputy Chief Counselor and Representative for Pine Ridge, Ernie Barr, the area was hit again. This time, the suspects removed some 70 feet of fence at the park.
Now, keep in mind that we had just recently spent over $10,000 to have these fences installed, and to have individuals on 2 different occasions steal the fence is extremely distasteful and was selfish, and it needs to stop right away.
He contends that the thousands of dollars spent could have been used on something more beneficial to the community. The matter has now been placed in the hands of the local authority.
We have launched a complaint with the police department to investigate this matter.
He's making this appeal to the public.
But I'm appealing to the general public. If you had seen anyone in the area during this time, or even have any information about persons who might have been in the area removing fence lately, to contact the police and report the matter. Despite
the frustrating and disheartening situation, he says that the work continues.
I also want to assure the Pine Ridge residents that we are in motion of repairing and beautifying all the parks in the Pine Ridge area. So the parks are beneficial to everyone.
Roadworks continuing in the Hudson Estates area after years of complaints from residents. The government stepped in to bring relief. Romiko Knowles visited the subdivision today to get an update on the progress that began back in February.
Well, more residents living in the Hudson Estate area can begin to breathe a sigh of relief as work to repair the poor road conditions are continuing. It has been a pressing issue for many of the persons living in this area for quite some time, but it won't be for much longer.
Me personally, we are very appreciative for what is being done.
Hudson Estate resident John Grant says he is overjoyed to see the progress being made on the road.
When things is going to happen, it doesn't always happen to your timing. But eventually, it's here now, and we're truly thankful.
Ron Marshall, a resident living in the area for the past 28 years, says it is a relief. He notes that they have had many meetings in the past, but it seemed as though their cries were falling on deaf ears. Nonetheless, he says he is pleased.
It made me feel good and everything, but one thing, I like it because every year I have to buy shocks for the car and everything like that. But now I like it and everything looking good. We had a meeting a couple of times about this, the road and everything. But nobody was around to help us or nothing like that, so I'm glad to see things working out.
Now, the Hudson Estate area is a privately owned subdivision. War Construction has been contracted by the government to repair the road and bring some relief to those living in the area. President Godfrey War provides an update on the progress.
Well, we've finished paving 3 sections of the road up on Triana and the side street off of Triana. And now we've actually prepared the bases on all the roads that we're going to repair in Hudson North and Hudson South. Now we're coming along and doing the final grading, and then we'll pave each section as we go now to get it completed.
The War Construction president says the entire project should be completed next month. Romiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Also from Abaco tonight, the National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee rolling out the COVID-19 vaccine on the island tomorrow. Abaco has had its share of challenges with the virus, and the rollout of the vaccine is but another effort to slow the spread. The leader of the Abaco business community views the vaccination process as a positive step towards the post-Dorian restoration efforts. Jamila Mizik has more in this report.
Thousands of Bahamians in New Providence and Grand Bahama have already been inoculated with the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, and beginning Thursday, April 15th through Monday, April 19th, residents in Abaco will be among those able to receive their dose of the vaccine. Chamber of Commerce President on the island, Ken Hutton, says the vaccine rollout in Abaco is good news.
The Chamber has not been really involved in the vaccine issue at all. That's really, above out of our wheelhouse. So, I really haven't been involved in that that issue so much. So, I think just overall, we're very happy that the vaccine is making its way to Abaco. I think it'll help bring a lot of our people back home, so that we can continue reconstruction efforts.
Now, it is no secret that the COVID-19 pandemic has halted rebuilding efforts on Abaco, one of the islands completely devastated by Hurricane Dorian 2 years ago. However, the Chamber President is expressing optimism that the vaccinations would further help reconstruction efforts on that northern island.
Obviously, the vaccine will allow more people to come home in safety, with security that, Abaco was a hotspot at a certain point, so hopefully with the vaccine, those days are behind us. We're very encouraged that the vaccine in general is now available, not only in the Bahamas, but also internationally, because it has certainly started to bring our second homeowners and our tourists back to Abaco, which are, the driving force in the economy. If we can get that engine restarted as soon as possible, then obviously it helps with our overall rebuilding efforts.
He's giving this update on reconstruction efforts to date.
Obviously, the pandemic caused a significant hindrance to our ability. I mean, it really put us at not so much a standstill, but it certainly put us on a go slow for the last year. Now that the vaccine is out and the pandemic seems to be waning, we are definitely seeing much more robust economic activity here. We're nowhere near where we were, but we are certainly ahead of where we were this time last year.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, the Public Hospitals Authority and the Grand Bahama Health Service is rolling out the second round of the COVID-19 vaccine on Grand Bahama this week. Governor-elect for the Bahamas District of Pilot International, Karen Ferguson, says that the process is going much more smoothly this time around. She is reminding eligible persons that they can register online. However, if you do not have access to a computer or if you require assistance, volunteers are on site at the Susan J. Wallace Center.
5 minutes, we take the information from you, and then you're processed, and when they're ready, they take you inside, and then you're vaccinated. It's much smoother than we have in the past, and so we've ironed out all of the kinks. And so we're just asking persons to come with the necessary documents, meaning that you should have your national insurance card. If you don't have that and you have your driver's license, the number is right on the back, so you can bring that along with you. For those persons who are not Bahamian residents and you may not have a national insurance card, bring your passports, because we do need proof of citizenship so that we can enter that information on.
Now, in order to keep the process moving swiftly and effectively, Ferguson Bain says that more volunteers are encouraged to sign up and assist.
Assistant District Governor Billy Ferguson is in charge of the volunteers, and so we're just asking persons to come on down if you would like to lend assistance, but come ready to work and be flexible with your time and with the areas that we're going to be putting you in, because one day you might be on data entry, the next day you might be on crowd control, the next day you might be at the doors, and so it changes. And so we're just asking persons if you would really like to come and volunteer, just come with the open-mindedness of wherever you're most needed, that is the area that we're going to put you in. And so to the entire island of Grand Bahama, we say thank you to the hard-working team of doctors and nurses. They are doing a mammoth job, and so thank you very much for everything that you're doing. And if you want to be a part of the process in making sure that we end this COVID-19 pandemic, come on down and lend a hand.
And now to the latest COVID-19 stats. 58 new COVID-19 cases reported yesterday. Grand Bahama reporting 9, New Providence 46, 2 in Abaco and 1 in Eleuthera. Hospitalizations on Grand Bahama has declined, with 5 moderately ill and 37 hospitalized cases in New Providence, 2 of whom are in ICU. Active cases stand at 339. The total recovered cases, 8,965. Meantime, health officials encouraging everyone to observe important health protocols and the COVID-19 vaccine as a means to limit the spread of the virus. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Come on down now. Come on down now. Becoming a BTC postpaid customer is fast and easy. And what's more, by signing up, the deals are instant. Tell us about some of the deals available for postpaid customers.
Well, we always have amazing deals available for our postpaid customers. We have up to 75% off any device that we carry, and you can also get up to $300 off of a phone if you're an existing customer. A new customer, you can get a free phone. And that's some of the amazing deals that we have at any of our major stores.
Let's talk again about switching over from prepaid to postpaid.
Okay, when you switch over from prepaid to postpaid with any carrier, you can keep your same number and you can come into a BTC store and your service will not be interrupted at all. Your friends and family won't even know that you made this switch.
And for new customers, what is the process like for them to become postpaid customers?
For a new customer, you just walk into the store, have a government-issued IDs, passport, driver's license, stuff like that. And once you do that, it'll be that simple. You could just visit one of our reps and they'll help you.
And tell us about some of the postpaid packages.
We have packages to suit any lifestyle and any budget. And whether you're homeschool, whether you have working from home, whatever it is, we have something here that will suit your budget.
So what are you waiting for? Visit any of our BTC locations and sign up and become a postpaid customer. It's fast, it's easy, and it's rewarding. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corval Pyfrom. Be well, and be back here next BTC Connection.
Valeria Caribbean, the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to travel the United States. Been starting at $150 and passengers starting at $120.
They say health is wealth. Well, let's find out. I'm Jamila Mizik, and I'm here to take you on a journey into what it means to have complete wellness.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Many Bahamians are doing their part to promote self-sufficiency. For some, it has become a rewarding experience as they reap the harvest and celebrate having a green thumb. Well, in this report, Jay Philippe talks to a husband and wife team who are doing big things in their backyard.
Meet the Dawkins family. Farmers Bernard and Judith Dawkins has been growing their own food crops for over 20 years. The couple says it all started when they moved into their new home and started planting small seeds and coconut trees in their backyard.
I got into backyard gardening about 22 years ago. Since we moved here in this neighborhood and I had my own property, I was able to plant seeds and grow stuff, you know. We sort of borrowed the property next to us, and we have some collard greens, we have okra, sweet peppers, tomatoes, onions, garlic, and thyme. And so we've been trying to grow our own stuff so we could have healthier living, healthier lifestyle.
Judith Dawkins also sharing the importance of backyard farming, which promotes food security, especially during this time.
I've been doing this a while. And I also encourage other people to get involved. I used to be a part of the Horticultural Society for a number of years, and that sort of prompted me into getting into backyard gardening.
Bernard Dawkins, who was primarily responsible for watering the plants and garden maintenance, says backyard farming can improve your health. He says consuming more fruits and vegetables is important if you want to stay healthy.
We do have the lemongrass or the fever grass. We have the allspice plant here as well. We also have the noni berry. We have coconuts. The water from the coconut, if you have a loose stomach and you drink the water from the coconut, that can help to, especially the young coconut, that'll help to make your stomach sort of settle down. It's good for lots of things. We're dehydrated as well, so just from the coconut water. The avocados, the fat in the avocado, that's good for you. It helps to lower your cholesterol and keep your cholesterol down low. There are lots of other fruits that we have around. We have a lot of mulberry, that they're seasonal too, and we have a lot of soursop. That's good too. It's supposed to be good for cancer, just like you have with the broccoli and the collards. We have some collards over here, which is good for that as well too.
Bernard is no stranger to vegetables. He recently retired as a chef after 50 years of working in the kitchen, which means he knows his stuff when it comes to vegetables and herbs.
When you know what goes into your food, it makes you a lot better. Because sometimes you go to a restaurant, you order things, and what you might cook with, I might cook with shortening, vegetable oil. They may cook with lard. They may cook with a lot of butter. They may cook with a lot of other fats. And they might use a lot of their things over and over again. Cooking fresh, cooking things from their natural state into your pot is the best way to go.
The Dawkins family says backyard farming has helped them to save money on groceries. They believe that being on the outside in the fresh air and sunshine also helps to improve mood and make you feel rejuvenated and happy. I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
And now it is time for our Munchin' with Megan segment. Tonight, our Megan Shepherd is in the kitchen with a guest chef who will show you how to make a quick midweek dinner, but all jazzed up.
Hey guys, welcome to my segment, and tonight I have a guest chef. Jillian, tell us what we're making.
Hey Megan, so tonight we are making chicken parmesan. And so the ingredients you will need, boneless, skinless chicken breast, some eggs, flour, panko, and veggies, of course. So I have some peppers here, onions, parsley, mushrooms. You're gonna need some thin spaghetti. And of course, your seasonings. So first we are going to start by breading our chicken. And we're gonna go in and we're going to start with the flour actually. And then we're gonna dip it in the egg wash. Great, and then we're gonna dip it in the panko. Okay guys, so while our frying pot is getting heated, we actually had some water boiling so that we can pair our chicken with some thin spaghetti. Okay, so we are going to put our chicken in, and we're gonna cook these for about 6 minutes each, and then we will have to pop these in the oven. So the goal is to get them a really great golden brown. You want to preheat the oven? What are we going to preheat the oven to? So we're going to preheat the oven to 350. Okay, so we are going to make sure and transfer these because they have gotten to be a nice golden brown. Ooh, don't want it to fall apart. Okay. So we have all of our vegetables chopped. We have mushrooms, red peppers, green peppers, yellow peppers, some red onions, some tomatoes, and some garlic. I love garlic. And we also have our pot, our little boiler preheated. So what I like to do is just transfer it all into the pot. So I'll just take my handful, pull it all in here. Okay, so now that we have our vegetables all simmered down, we are going to get our marinara. Okay, so we're gonna pour this all in, almost flat, chill. Okay, so now we have all of our Parmesan cheese grated. I think this is enough. What do you think? This is enough. There you go. So we are going to bring our chicken back into the mix. And we are going to get that marinara with all of our great veggies in here. And we are going to pour this all over our chicken. So good. And from here, we are going to take that same Parmesan and we are going to sprinkle that over. Okay. And Now from we here, transfer to our oven. we will put this in the oven and cook it for about 20 minutes. Okay, Megan, so we're gonna add our last final touches with some garnish and a little bit of Parmesan to add on top of that.
Amazing. It looks so good. And guys, guess what? It's time to munch. And that's a look at stories making news here in the North. Let's take a check in on what's happening in sports with our Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to sports. Another Grand Bayman professional baseball player is preparing for the season. His expectation before the season ends is to hopefully be called up in the big leagues.
Pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, Chavez Fernander, is excited to return to the baseball field after a year of suspended games due to the global pandemic. Calling the past year bittersweet, he says he used the time off to work on conditioning needed to return to the game.
I was doing the driveline program with my guy Ruby. I was in Boca for most of the off-season, working on my mechanics, smoothing it out, working on my body, how I eat, gymming, getting flexible.
Spring training is officially underway, and Fernandez says he's looking forward to returning to competition.
I'm looking forward to going there with a bang and make it in the single A, double A form right now to get ready to go.
And although the world is working to return to safe levels of normalcy, Fernandez says they will still be working under strict conditions.
They were talking about taking a COVID test every couple of days and us not leaving the facility, so it's going to be a bit different, having to stay there full time, not being able to go out and do things, so it's going to be more strict and dealing with COVID.
He says that fan participation would also look a little different this year.
When you have fans, the adrenaline is pumping and you feed off it, but not having it, you gotta create your own adrenaline and you just gotta be a dog and do what you gotta do.
And despite the challenges faced due to COVID-19, the pitcher says he is grateful to be living out his childhood dream.
As a young guy, that was always my dream. I wanted to be a baseball player from when I was 4 years old, so being able to go there and play the game I love, a kid's game, is admirable.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Total Sports.
Now in women's basketball, Jonquil J.J. Jones and her team advanced to the Final Four at the Euro Women's League. Her UMMC Ekaterinburg emerging victorious from the quarterfinals hub in Salamanca, Spain, will now take on Fenerbahce Osner Kablo with a chance to advance to the finals. Her squad, which is the defending champions, extended their impressive streak to 14 consecutive Final Four appearances after topping domestic rivals Dynamo Kursk by a 48-point margin across the two legs of the all-Russian tie. And that's a quick check on sports right here in the North. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
For delicious Haitian and Bahamian cuisine, your dining experience begins at Fair Play Lounge. In the Port Lacaya Marketplace, place your orders at 374-3247.
Hello, everyone. I'm Simeon Oughton, Senior Pastor here at New Life Worship Center, and I'm extending an invitation for you to come and worship with us Sundays at 9 to 11. Look forward to seeing you.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with ZNS to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
Connet Bahamas Mother's Day sale on all merchandise except AC units and special order cabinets. Freeport, Abaco, and Eleuthera. Follow on Facebook and Instagram for more information. Connet Bahamas.
Ice a coconut got this. Cocoa skin, madness. Juiciness, ice the this. Sweet like
King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
The industrial business is an industry where safety is priority. ATP Industrial Outfitters has the gear for whatever industrial environment you work in. FR fire retardant coveralls, your protection against fire. Chem splash suits for industrial tank cleaning and inspection. Hazmat suits for mold remediation and the medical field. And Tyvek disposable coveralls. Protections against particulate matter, light oils, and hazardous liquids. All suits available now at ETP Ship Care and Industrial Outfitters. Number 19 Oak Street. Phone 824-2047.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Krayshawn Young, you are our Facebook friend of the night. We say thank you for watching. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshana Wolf-Farquharson. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Vaccination hesitation grips a number of Bahamians. A New Providence man loses the fight to COVID-19. And clean records for another 8 people. Those stories and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, returns.
It is normal to feel overwhelmed, lonely, scared, or sad during a crisis. Coping can be difficult when your daily schedule is interrupted. Drinking may feel good, but is not the best way to cope with stress. It can worsen your mental and physical health and impact your family. So how can you cope? Keep physically active, like taking a walk or dancing. Cook and eat nutritious food, including fruits and vegetables. Engage in indoor activities like playing games and staying connected with family and friends. Meditate, encourage yourself, or enjoy music. Still feeling overwhelmed? We are here to listen. This message is brought to you by these partners.
This portion of the news brought to you by BTC's Dollar Holla Deals.
Good evening, I'm Akush Lopinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for tuning in. We begin tonight with unfortunate news on the COVID front. The deadly virus has claimed another life here in the Bahamas. Health officials confirming that a 53-year-old New Providence man died on April 9th. 26 deaths remain under investigation. This in the face of this year's high of 58 cases being added to the overall case count. 34 women, 24 men. The vast majority of new infections are here in New Providence, which on Tuesday pulled in 46. Grand Bahama accounted for 9, Abaco 2, and Eleuthera 1, putting us that much closer to an overall case count of 9,600. Of the newly infected, 2 have a history of travel within 14 days. While the number of people in hospital remains at 42, those in the intensive care unit have dipped by 1 to 2. No one recovered from the virus on Tuesday. As for tests completed, that's at 81,197, 493 of them yesterday. Of that number, 11 tests were repeated and 5 were inconclusive. Well, as government ramps up its national COVID-19 vaccination exercise, officials may find themselves between a rock and a hard place in getting the masses to understand the COVID-19 vaccination process is a simple one. Cleopatra Murphy explains.
Government could encounter a roadblock as it moves to inoculate as many Bahamians as possible against COVID-19. Testing the temperature of the public revealed that vaccine hesitancy continues to be an issue for some, like Arabia Bridgewater, who insists she will not be getting the shot.
I'm not interested at all with the vaccination. I've been following a lot of world news. I've been seeing a lot of negative side effects, and so I'm kind of just not at all interested.
Those reservations stem from reports of the AstraZeneca vaccine, the only one available to the Bahamian public, causing rare blood clots. But regulators like the European Medicines Agency maintain the benefits outweigh the associated risks. On the other side of the coin, resident Selena Adderley says despite earlier reservations, she got her first shot of AstraZeneca on Tuesday. Aside from taking a few Panadol in the event of symptoms, she feels the decision to get vaccinated was an easy one.
I think it's best to make up your mind and then know that if you don't take the vaccine and if you contract COVID-19, you could be hospitalized or actually die. But if you take it, you're actually preventing yourself from dying or being hospitalized.
Also on the fence about the vaccine is Patrick Forbes, whose concern hovers around any long-term effects COVID-19 vaccines that were developed at a faster rate than usual can have.
I just don't want to rush into it. And like I say, God been keeping me from it started. And I know he's going to continue to keep me, no matter what.
Meantime, a 35-year-old female resident says she has no interest in getting vaccinated, also citing concerns over potential long-term effects. She, like Forbes, says if the Bahamas had another option, like the U.S. that has access to the Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines, she may have considered it.
But right now, I have no thoughts of taking a vaccine for me or my kids.
With another perspective, 57-year-old Andrew Ramming says he plans to get vaccinated as early as next week.
Interested in getting them because we need it. Because you don't know what sickness coming behind us. You don't know what next to come. So you need it.
Bridgewater says if she had a choice, she would have considered inoculation, but in the meantime, she will continue mask wearing and other preventative measures.
I feel like they rushed it, and it's so much things that have gone wrong already, and I feel like I'm not interested in being a guinea pig or a test subject.
Adderley, on the other hand, who has overcome her initial hesitancy, says AstraZeneca would not have been her first choice, as she initially wanted Johnson & Johnson. Adderley, who says she had minimal side effects from her AstraZeneca shot, encourages others to get inoculated.
The only thing I felt is a sore muscle, a sore arm. I had a slight headache, nothing really to talk about because I was still able to run. And other than that, I feel fine.
At last count, more than 15,000 Bahamians had received their first shot of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, Pan American Health Organization Director Carissa Etienne today warned that since COVID-19 vaccine deliveries to the Americas have slowed down, countries should employ a comprehensive strategy of immunization and public health measures to curb the surging pandemic. She stressed at her weekly regional COVID-19 press conference in Washington, D.C., that for most regional countries, vaccines are not going to stop this wave, as there are simply not enough available to protect everyone in the country at greatest risk. Dr. Etienne supports the administration of the AstraZeneca vaccine, which she maintains is very safe and effective. She also noted that with more than 1.3 million people COVID-19 infected and nearly 36,000 deaths 36,000 deaths in the past week alone, regional health officials are acting like they are not in the midst of a worsening outbreak. She attributed violations of health protocols and new highly transmissible variants for fueling acceleration. Tourism and Aviation Minister, the Honorable Dionisio Diaglo, mincing no words. The reality is savings are depleting, assistance diminishing, bills mounting, and the cries for assistance ever increasing. On top of that, there is absolutely no way to help everyone. He reasons that the only solutions to get the tourism industry back on track and visitors back to the Bahamas and Bahamians back to work. And for this to happen, Diaglo maintains that everyone needs to be on board.
First, I note with concern the increasing number of COVID cases in the Ministry of Health's daily report, as well as the corresponding increase in the number of Bahamians in hospital coping with the symptoms of COVID-19. I am begging Bahamians, therefore, not to lower their guard in the fight against COVID-19. Social distancing and not gathering in large groups continues to be essential in thwarting the spread of this virus, and reports like the one that surfaced a week or so ago of big parties gathering in certain places like Cabbage Beach are extremely worrying and disconcerting. That COVID fatigue is leading to poor choices which is in turn contributing to community spread.
The minister, who, much like other government officials, has made no secret of his support for the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, is using every opportunity to encourage Bahamians to take it when offered.
With close to 200 million doses having already been administered in the United States to over 30% of the U.S. population. Remember now, the United States is the source market of 90% of all visitors currently coming to the Bahamas. It behooves those who are currently employed in the tourism sector to get vaccinated too. And given the strategic importance of hotel and other tourism-related workers to the rebound of our critically important tourism sector, your F&M government has prioritized all workers in the tourism sector to get vaccinated.
Well, still to come, the Governor General views renovations at Mount Fitzwilliam, and we've got insurance advice for porter ski vendors. Those stories and more when the National Report continues.
And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch live at 5 with Amajon Knowles, followed by the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse, the people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Your home is where your heart is, but it's more than just shelter. Your home is your workplace. Your home is school for your kids. Your home is even your happy place where you play. Get the best internet connection wherever you are with blazing fast speeds up to 300 megabits per second for as low as $99.99 and installation within 48 hours. Sign up for any of our fiber packages today and get a chance to win a smart TV plus a free tablet in your second month. Call or WhatsApp 577-SHOP or 424-SHOP and sign up today. Conditions apply.
You know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC, a substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like that spider that doesn't climb in your shower. CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
The lives of 4 men and 4 women between the ages of 20 and 40 years old changed today after their criminal records were expunged. Officials of the Rehabilitation Offenders Committee officially presenting the instruments to the 8 Bahamians at the Ministry of National Security's headquarters today. Chairman Paul Farquharson says the group was interviewed and then recommended for approval with some real stories to tell.
Being on the side road of Nassau Street during the first carnival, and someone on a truck passed by and spilled a drink on an individual, another lady, who thought that it was her who threw this drink on her, and they had a brawl, and she was arrested for disorderly behavior. And that was on our record for almost 5 years. That one infraction prevented her from getting a job.
And the committee has a long list of applications that have been submitted for approval.
We have about 48 applications pending for the committee's hearing. And so every meeting that we have, we hear about 10 or 12 applications, provided that we get all of the reports in. And it takes an average of about 6 to 8 weeks to get the report from the various agencies before we can interview someone to have their records extorsed.
Police escorting to court a third suspect in relation to that $3.1 million drug bust in Eleuthera last month. Formally charged today was 37-year-old Michael Taylor. Taylor was charged with 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, importation of dangerous drugs, and conspiracy to import. He pleaded not guilty to all the charges and was granted $10,000 bail with 2 sureties. The accused is expected back in court on September 1st for trial. An historic site in New Providence is undergoing a major transformation. Long overdue repairs underway at Government House, an extensive project that's expected to pump new life into the centuries-old 10-acre estate before year's end. Keishla Adderley tells us more.
Government House is getting a facelift to the tune of $9.8 million. Contractor Fred Wilmot is leading the charge. With Phase 1 well underway, the Governor General, His Excellency, the Most Honorable Cornelius Smith, toured the residence Wednesday afternoon.
This house has not been used as a residence of a Governor General for some 7 years. But today, we are presently in the first stage of a journey toward realizing and maximizing the potential of Government House and its environs.
Government House dates back to the 16th century. It's undergone its share of hurricane and weather damage, along with general wear and tear since it was completed in 1809. The Governor General says it's time to restore the People's House once again with some important add-ons.
Converting some of the Government House into a first-class modern historical museum. And in that respect, we have already formed an expert committee headed by Kim Outen Stubbs, who are doing the research and developing a program to show the historical aspect of Government House.
Elements like these original tiles, metal ceilings, and abaco pine are among unique attributes that are being preserved. Preservationist Alicia Oxley is leading that charge.
Original limestone, we're trying to retain as much limestone as we can in the restoration of the buildings. We have cement verandas and stuff, but it's just basically trying to get back or accommodating the existing structure into bringing it into the 21st century.
Scores of construction workers are engaged in the project, among them 8 female construction workers.
I feel awesome. At least I get to learn something new, and whatever I learn from here, I could take it someplace else.
Some non-singles and working with the masons, and
when you need a job is like, you need to help your family, and that better than doing other things.
Contractors are eyeing a December completion date. It's a gift the Governor General is looking forward to receiving and giving back to the people.
I hope that the contractor could keep his promise that he made to us, that we should have an opening of this for our Christmas party. I look forward to it.
Keishla Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Marco City MP Michael Pintard making quite a case in Parliament Monday for institutions to exercise sensitivity to the needs of their clients, who he reminded are real people with real situations that are tearing their lives apart. The appeal coming after spending considerable time, he says, intervening on behalf of people on the brink of being kicked out of their homes.
If somebody has not been paying their rent or not been paying their mortgage long before Dorian, long before the pandemic, I am sympathetic to landlords. I'm a landlord, okay? So I'm sympathetic. People have to pay their bills as well who own assets. However, I do have a fundamental problem with landlords or banking institutions, whether they be insurance companies or commercial banks, who are giving residents such a difficult time when the problems those residents have only emerged after a catastrophic event and a loss of jobs.
Who was wrapping up debate on a resolution for an upscale community for young professionals in Western New Providence, says in one instance, a family had been in their home for 30 years.
The reality that we're dealing with by powerful men and women who hold authority in this country but refuse when the least among us are in vulnerable positions. And Mr. Speaker, this has to stop. It's making me look at ordinary people who I've enjoyed good relationship with for many years differently, and making me wonder, where is the compassion and the heart for a people that's going through a difficult time? This is not for the folks whose priorities are wrong, who've squandered their resources. This is for people who, amidst the worst pandemic in the history of the country, for the first time had lapses on their mortgages.
Well, talking about losing everything, as several Port of Ski vendors take on the mammoth task of rebuilding their businesses after Sunday's blaze, the more frightening reality now is the structural and financial damage and the lack of insurance. Bahamas First Insurance President Patrick Ward describes the ordeal as unfortunate and urges vendors to now seek advice from qualified insurance professionals on the way forward.
Fortunately, in the absence of insurance, the recourse is going to be limited to one, either the personal resources that the vendors themselves have, or secondly, any assistance that might be provided by a third party or a government agency. And that's an unfortunate situation because quite a number of them would have had, I'm pretty sure, an opportunity to access some form of insurance. That as they look at the rebuilding phase, first of all, they should discuss the insurance requirements with an agent and broker to get independent advice on their particular needs. And secondly, factor in the cost of insurance as part of your ongoing business expense because there is no easier, more efficient way to make a recovery in the event there is a loss, whether it's a total loss or a partial loss, when something unexpected happens.
Insurance executive insists vendors implement risk measures to prevent future catastrophes.
Well, I'm not sure that you can actually avoid the risk. I think what should be the point of focus is how do we mitigate the impact of the risk? And what I mean by that is that clearly insurance is one mechanism for doing so. And I think the other aspect has to be building back better and smarter. So, for example, I've heard some conversation around the fact that there needs to be more fire retardant construction material used in the course of rebuilding those units that were damaged in Port of Ski. I think it's very important that individual store owners look at their individual requirements and ensure that their current and future needs are going to be looked after properly by having insurance, but also having a proper risk mitigation plan, which means maintaining the buildings in good order to prevent potentially some fire from occurring or some other form of damage, and investing in a proper maintenance program that's going to result in a longer lifespan for the building.
Well, it's been a rough ride for public bus drivers here in New Providence as they have had to cope with either no or slow business since the COVID-19 pandemic forced them to change their operation. Carla Palmer spoke with several of them in terms of how they're coping.
Jitney driver Alistair Major of Davis Bus Service spends more time in queue at the bus depot downtown Nassau these days than he even cares to admit.
Riding now, it's still slow, but we have our times that, you can make a few dollars, but it's still slow.
Major operates bus route 12B, servicing the Western District of New Providence as far as Lyford Key. Like other industry colleagues, including Darren Simonet, he's accustomed to carrying busloads of passengers. But since the pandemic, transport capacity for all has been restricted to 50%.
We just appreciate that we can work and provide for our families. If you take it for granted, you're not going to be able to make it in this little town.
The people starting to come back on route, as scheduled days they have off and on. Okay, so the route is slowly picking back up.
And it's not really working, but we have no choice for now. We have to make the best of it and just hope that they allow us to take full capacity soon. And then with gas prices skyrocketing now at $5 and something cents, it's very hard.
Further exacerbating the problem for jitney drivers now is crime. Simonet says robbers brandishing guns are targeting them.
Perpetrators come on the bus and they ask us if they are passengers. And when they reach a particular spot, mainly on Market Street or whatever, they hold the driver up and then they leave.
These drivers remain optimistic that the economy will rebound.
Just hoping that, this COVID would be over with real soon.
As it stands now, these jitney drivers are adamant that the health and safety protocols be followed upon entering their bus. Sanitize, wear your mask, and you are guaranteed a seat to your destination. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Chinese ambassador to the Bahamas, Her Excellency Dai Qingling's courtesy calls continue today with a visit to Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Carl Bethel, at the ministry's John F. Kennedy Drive headquarters. The Attorney General thanked the Chinese ambassador for the kind donations of medical supplies and personal protective equipment during the pandemic and looked forward to ongoing support. The possibility of further cultural exchanges as well as high-level visits between both countries in the future was also discussed.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
The Tourism Today team had an opportunity to speak to our parliamentary secretary, Mr. Travis Robinson, about his up-and-coming plans for tourism.
Well, in this particular time, the goal is to ensure that we have a sustainable product. There's a complete difference between sustainability of tourism and the short-term objective of reopening the tourism industry. Ensuring that we have a sustainable tourism would look like including students at the University of the Bahamas who are studying tourism and hospitality. How do we plan for the long term? Working with local stakeholders and partners who are in the hotel and tourism industry, the arena, like the hotel owners and the vendors and owners of downtown Nassau and the various touristic sites, and ensuring that we continue to put the emphasis on a sustainable product, which is not a type of tourism, but sustainability is the condition of which tourism is in. So my plan is specifically ensuring that we have a sustainable tourism.
Mr. Robinson also shared how important it is for Bahamians to be involved.
This is the time for us in the hospitality and tourism industry to ensure that we continue to make tourism local. And making tourism local looks like ensuring that opportunities are gained for local Bahamians, that they get a greater economic impact and piece of the pie of our tourism industry, ensuring that everything that we do going forward includes Bahamians at the table, and the benefit is felt more economically on the ground.
Our parliamentary secretary truly reminded us that tourism is everybody's business. I'm Mercedes Demerit, and this is Tourism Today.
Basketball is back, baby, and so is NBA League Pass, only with Rev Trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free, along with incredible prizes, including a brand new 50-inch smart TV, NBA gear, and more. With tons of prizes and gear, signing up for Trio is the best on and off-court move this year. Just call 601-8992 or visit www.rev.bs/promotions/trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free.
I love sunsets. Now that I'm retired, it's the simple things in life that are enjoyable. I couldn't say that a few years ago because I never thought of or planned for the inevitable, and I never considered the debt I would leave my family in.
BAF's final expense plan. Coverage up to $50,000 and it never decreases in value. Affordable monthly payments that never increase. Accidental death coverage and no medical exam or lab test required.
Now that I have BAF's final expense plan, I worry no more.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
That's why we got the join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
At BPL, we are building for better, and that starts with improving customer relations for every single customer. Whether it's your home or business, big or small, we want you to know that you are important to us and that providing you with efficient and reliable energy is our business. Through increased efficiency and our hedging strategy, we've been able to decrease your bills significantly, a much welcome relief in these trying times.
I pay close attention to my BPL bill, and I've noticed a continual decline since July of last year. I'm so happy I can open my bill and know that it's steadily becoming more manageable.
As an entrepreneur, I've seen my electricity bills for home and business go down. This is amazing because now more than ever, it gives businesses and everyone the break they need to not only survive, but to succeed.
At BPL, we're proud of the early success of our strategic plan, and we look forward to consolidating the gains we've made. With more improvements on the way, we are continuing to build for a better future for all of us.
Everyone's excited about the $8 meal of the day. Every day, it's a different 6-inch sub, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $8. That feels like fresh value. Come in any day of the week for one of your favorite 6-inch subs. Like turkey breast, meatball marinara, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, black forest ham, Italian BMT, oven roasted chicken, and tuna. Then add chips and a 20-ounce drink, and you've got the $8 meal of the day. A great meal at a great price every day of the week. Only at Subway.
Following a recipe or creating something new, find your ingredients at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Devon corned beef, 12-ounce can, $2.39. Bassiette macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4-ounce box, 2 for $1.50. Rainbow tuna, 5-ounce can, 69 cents. Sweet cantaloupes, $1.99 each. Center cut pork chops, $2.59 per pound. Open Monday through Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Double stamps on Sundays. Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
You work hard. Shouldn't your money be working hard too? RF Mutual Funds are designed to put your money to work with some of the best performing investment funds in the market and a range of funds to suit your unique needs and risk tolerance. So when you're hard at work, you can be confident your money is too. Put your money to work with RF Mutual Funds. Contact us today to learn more.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the Pest Destructo Company. We are your best solution.
What started out as a routine fishing trip from Exuma to Long Island Good Friday has left relatives of Exuma resident Clinton Adderley worried. The 53-year-old has yet to return home. Janet Bodie Wilkerson says her cousin's vessel reportedly capsized when he was returning home.
What I understood, returning back Saturday morning about 9:30 or 10 o'clock, their boat capsized. Now, Marvin Adderley, he only has one hand. And he was the captain of the boat. And my cousin, Clinton, his son said that he talked to Marvin, and Marvin said they capsized. Now, we don't know. What we want to know is that if Clinton was wearing a life jacket, we knew that Marvin is wearing a life jacket because he was found last week, Wednesday, by the U.S. Coast Guard. And they took him to Long Island where he was at the clinic.
Now, we understand the men were in a small bone fishing boat when they encountered bad weather. We confirmed with Bahamas Air, Sea and Rescue Association Operations Manager Chris Lloyd that a search is underway. However, it has been suspended pending additional information. The family, though, is not giving up hope.
Like I said, we are still out there searching, hoping, just holding on to hope, keeping hope alive that we will find him. We just need some closure, and stuff, and we really need Mr. Marvin Adderley, to just explain to us what happened.
Nearly 5 days after the eruption of the La Soufriere volcano spewed plumes of smoke and ash over the islands of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency has deployed yet another branch to assist and assess the aftermath. SEDEMA Executive Director Elizabeth Riley revealed at a regional virtual press conference today that a detailed damage sector assessment team was deployed at the request of the St. Vincent government.
The coordinating unit will be deploying its CARICOM Disaster Relief Unit. This is a team which is coordinated through the Regional Security System, one of our very close partners, and will provide support in the relief management operations at the national level, principally at the seaport. And we want to thank the RSS for its support.
Riley also asking the public to stay updated with the latest information on this volcanic eruption.
Based on the brief by the Seismic Research Center, I think we all recognize that this is an eruption which can be going for some time. They've indicated it could be weeks or it could be months. And what is important with respect to understanding the needs is that the needs are going to change over time. So what has come out was an initial needs list. And when we have the assessment completed in another 4 days or so, we will see further revisions of those needs lists. And we ask the public to remain plugged in.
Well, despite 2020 setbacks, the Cancer Society is hoping to get back in the swing of things this year, and in doing so, raise some much-needed funds for an illness that has in some way or another affected us all. You see, the Society is getting set for its vintage virtual ball. Joining us live to tell us more about the event is the ball's co-chair, Nicole Leary. Ms. Leary, welcome to the Bahamas Tonight. How does this virtual event play out, and what can attendees expect?
Okay, so the Vintage Virtual Ball will be on May 29th at 7 p.m. You can purchase the ticket for $175, And once you've purchased this $175 ticket, you're able to get a vintage box, which will have the goodies that you would need for the ball. So in there, you would receive a voucher, a dinner voucher, that you will be able to RSVP with the Wild Time or Sapodilla. And there, we will be able to get your food on that night. We'll also have wine of your choice, well, red or white, that has been sponsored by 700 Wines. And we're going to still give you the ball experience. So we're going to be able to, on that night, you will be able to still get live music virtually. You will also be able to auction as well as the raffle ticket, and then we will have 2 DJs. We'll also be able to, the other thing that we're also doing is that the classic look. So whether you want to dress in the 70s, 80s, 20s, your choice. And we are trying to encourage persons, of course, following COVID protocols, to make sure that you sit around with the persons that you're comfortable with in a tables of 10. So that can be at home, that could be at work, or if you pay in advance, you will be able to reserve a seat at one of the restaurants.
Now, no doubt this is a major fundraiser for the organization. How much money are you hoping to pull in, and where will that money be spent?
Okay, so over the years, we always try to target to get about $100,000. 2020 boxed us in. We wasn't able to raise any funds. This year, we're hoping to at least get close to it or near to it. And what the funds are used for, well, we have the Cancer Society hosts persons from the Family Island that would have to come here for treatment. And so that is a care center. And with cancer, you do need care. And then, of course, there are pap smears that we would do for free in the Family Island, as well as mammograms. And so then we also have the adult support group. And then there's also funds used for persons that may not have cancer. The bill is very expensive, and we try to, at least if you don't have any insurance, to give you a one-time payment. So the funds are used for very good cause, and this is why we're trying to raise enough funds. Now, of course, the Cancer Society have other committees that they would also help with making sure that they raise funds. We're just trying to get back in there, trying to help persons out. COVID-19 boxed us in, but we know that persons are still dealing with this disease, and we want to make sure that we can help as best as we can. So please support the ball, the virtual ball, May 29th, 7 p.m.
And just a reminder, where to purchase the tickets?
You can purchase the tickets online of the Cancer Society. You'll be able to purchase the tickets online on the Cancer Society website. It will be available as of early as next week.
Well, Ms. Leary, thanks for joining us, and we wish you all the success. As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tile miles on everything.
Hey guys, it's Shay again with another quick tidbit on the perks of being an Alive customer. Now, if you're already on our network, this may just be a refresher for you, but if you're not, this might give you that extra push. If you're interested in getting a bill every month, or you're interested in the best prices on some of the latest devices, or if you've been a little bit interested in that auto pay option, this might be for you. It's time for you to join postpaid and experience opulence. Simply put, being an Alive postpaid customer means you selected the plan of your choice and you then pay for that plan routinely every month. Unlike prepaid, where you can fluctuate between 7-day and 30-day, all postpaid plans are 30-day plans. So what are some of those postpaid plans? We have our Liberty More, which is $59.99, gives you 10 gigabytes of data, 500 talk and text minutes. Or we have our Liberty Premium, which is $99.99 per month and gives you 20 gigabytes of data, 1,000 talk and text minutes. Or we have our Liberty Elite, which is $149.99 a month, includes unlimited data, talk and text, and 1 gigabyte of roaming data. Again, all of our plans include unlimited Alive-to-Alive calls and text. Now listen, we also have postpaid MiFi plans. That's right. If you have a MiFi device, you can purchase postpaid data plans, MiFi Basic, MiFi Plus, and MiFi Preferred. So what else can you look forward to? Even though we are still practicing social distancing during this time, as a postpaid customer, you not only have access to exclusive offers and devices, but exclusive invites to virtual events hosted by Alive in partnership with local vendors and access to special offers at many vendors on our List Rewards app. So there you have it. If you're a prepaid customer and you've been thinking about making that postpaid switch, we hope that this helped. If you're not an Alive customer, what are you waiting on? Alive, believe in best.
This Easter, the hunt is on at a Shore Win. Somebody's gonna be lucky when they enter our Easter Extravaganza raffle.
Ready? Set. Go!
Stop into your favorite Ashorewin location from March 30th to April 30th and win over $50,000 in cash and prizes. The perfect Easter basket stuffer can be yours. Come on down and let Ashorewin bring out the winner in you. Ashorewin, the short way to win.
Officials of Crystal Cruises meeting with various stakeholders before home porting in the Bahamas this summer. Corporate Director Kevin Jones recently discussed the opportunities available to Exuma with the local government district council at its office in Hoopers Bay. He says he's excited to create a successful tourism venture in Exuma.
The real work of making sure that this benefits local Exumians starts here in this room. And I'm tremendously appreciative of the leadership of the council members in making sure that they know what we're doing and we know who to contact to be able to get these opportunities out there and disseminated, because this is a very special type of luxury guest that is looking to come and to spend money on this island and to do it in a safe, responsible way, and this really is a marriage made in heaven.
Exuma and Ragged Island Administrator Deborah Moxie-Rose says they're ready for the opportunity.
And we are committed and excited to have them here. We wish them every success, and we want them to know that we will do our endeavor best to see the success of this venture. We're excited and we're ready to go, and we are waiting for Crystal Cruises to arrive in Exuma.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Patricia. Beautiful dry weather continue, but for how long? Well, stay tuned. We'll tell you all about that later in the newscast. But outside of our studios, we're under partly sunny skies, temperature at 75 degrees, the relative humidity 60%. We have easterly winds at 9 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,018.7 millibars, that's 30.06 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the outlets this evening, well, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 75 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Toll Key at 75, Marshall, Babaco 74 degrees, 76 in the Berry Islands, 76 also in Bimini, picking up 74 degrees in Harbor Island. Rock Sound in Lutra, 75 degrees, 75 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. Otterstown, Cat Island have a temperature of 76 degrees. 75s again in San Salvador and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma at 76. 76 in Ragged Island, Clarence-Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands. Matchingtown in Agua, 78 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 75 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Setter. For all areas, easterly winds tonight, speeds around 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Over the ocean, you can expect your high tide at 10:26. And then tomorrow for all areas, which is Thursday, southeasterly flow, 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Tide-wise is going to be high at 10:41 in the morning, low tide at 4:44 in the afternoon. And as we take you into Friday, end of the week in the northwestern islands, the winds swing out of the southwest at 10 to 15 knots ahead of an approaching front, which will stall. Again, the details coming up later in the newscast. Wave heights, they're going to be around 2 to 4 feet, high tide 11:19 in the morning, low tide at 5:21 in the afternoon. For the central Bahamas, southerly flow 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. In the southeast Bahamas, you can anticipate light and variable winds with flat seas. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
On the corner, when I heard my bulldog bark, he was barking at the two men who were gambling in the dark. It was Stagger Lee and Billy, two men who gambled late. Stagger Lee threw a 7, Billy swore that he threw 8. Stagger Lee told Billy, I can't let you go with that. See, you done won all my money and my brand new Stetson hat.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Imagine. That's where every advancement begins, with an idea that things can be different, better, now. Imagine a world where your entertainment experience was all about you, your style, your show, at your budget. At Rev, that's what we've imagined. To join the conversation and learn more about the future of Rev TV, visit us at rev.bs/imagine.
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like that spider that doesn't climb in your shower. CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that.
We're ready with the newly remodeled reception area. We're ready with your safety as our top priority. We're ready with state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and an enhanced patient information platform with online access to your reports for your physician. At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we're ready to serve you. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call to make an appointment today.
The Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality, or BBSQ, ensures better business practices in the Bahamas through the development and promotion of voluntary and mandatory national standards. Standards are guidelines which ensure that goods and services are produced with the safety of consumers and the environment in mind. BBSQ has developed standards for the manufacturing of bottled water. All vehicles brought into the country are also subject to standards. We have protocols for the poultry and egg production industry. National standards also apply to the construction industry. We are setting quality management and quality assurance guidelines to ensure that medical laboratories are competent. Standards help businesses to reduce expenditure, improve customer satisfaction, access new markets, reduce environmental impact, increase market share, and innovate. For consumers, standards provide improved choice, lower costs, greater assurance, compatibility, consistency, and better product information. We believe that standards matter to everyone, everywhere. We are the Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality, where quality is our standard.
BBSQ, coming for through. You, for me.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Well, the Bahamas' Iron Man in the NBA, Buddy Hield, finally missed a game, sitting out the Sacramento Kings' Monday night loss to New Orleans due to an undisclosed illness. The Kings fell 117-110, dropping their 7th straight game and falling to 22-32 and 12th in the Western Conference. This as just the top 10 teams will have a shot in the playoffs, with the 7th through 10th place teams playing a playoff tournament to make the 8th seed this year. The Kings find themselves 4 games behind the 10th place Golden State Warriors. As for Hield, he missed his first game in the NBA since November 2017, when he was sidelined for 2 games against the Portland Trailblazers and Denver Nuggets due to an ankle injury. Those are his only 2 games that he's missed in his NBA career. Going into Monday night's game, he trailed just his former teammate, Corey Joseph, who currently is the NBA's active leader in consecutive games played with 321. In collegiate tennis news, Sidney Clark and the UAB Blazers continuing to play well in the collegiate tennis scene. They managed to get a 4-1 victory over Middle Tennessee State over the weekend. The game was set for Saturday, but due to a bad weather forecast, was pushed up to Friday. Still, it was delayed by over 3 hours. When the games got underway, the teams had to forego the doubles portion of the event. In singles, Clark was able to close out the regular season with her 5th straight win. The freshman had a tough 3-set match against Noelle Morrow. In the first set, Clark was blanked, losing 6-zip as she could not get into a groove. In the second set, she showed her mental toughness as she shook down Morrow in the final set to win the match 6-4, winning the final 3 sets 6-love, 6-2, and 6-4. And that's been a look at sports.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Your home is where your heart is, but it's more than just shelter. Your home is your workplace. Your home is school for your kids. Your home is even your happy place where you play. Get the best internet connection wherever you are with blazing fast speeds up to 300 megabits per second for as low as $99.99 and installation within 48 hours. Sign up for any of our fiber packages today and get a chance to win a smart TV plus a free tablet in your second month. Call or WhatsApp 577-SHOP or 424-SHOP and sign up today. Conditions apply.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at whether that high pressure remain anchored across the Bahamas, and that will render some relatively light winds and clear skies for the most part, with lots of sunshine during the daytime. But there is an approaching front. You can see it over the southern portion of the United States, firing up some showers there with some embedded thunderstorms. It's all sinking very slowly towards the southern edge. We don't expect it to go completely through, but by Saturday should stall just to the north of Grand Bahama, and that will enhance some shower activity over the extreme northwest Bahamas beginning over the weekend, and that will carry into Monday, when we will see an increase in shower activity over the northwest Bahamas. Tonight, though, we're looking at simply clear and cool conditions. Low temperature getting down to 66 degrees. And tomorrow, another beautiful day, nice with lots of sunshine, 80 degrees for a high temperature. The extended weather forecast in the 80s, low 80s, gradually rising as we head into the weekend, getting up into the mid 80s, and those nighttime temperatures, we will start clocking 70s as of Friday. but we'll hold them in the low 70s right through the next 7-day cycle, which will take us into the middle of next week.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas Tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.